The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, this is Ken Gidge, and this is the Art of Politics, and we always start off by saying there's no show of this type, and that's when El Baldessaro is here, because we're just two crazy people. He is a Republican, and I am a Democrat. I'm smarter than him. I can say that because he's in Florida. The week before, he had an operation on his throat, and he couldn't speak. Imagine hanging around with El Baldessaro and he can't talk.
I can't imagine
that'd be wonderful. But we do have another Republican who I know really well. How you doing?
Good, Ken.
Sean
Very good.
McGinnis, Alderman.
Alderman presently.
And where we really met was in Concord.
At State House, we served together. I was one term up there. You and I served on Commerce and Consumer Affairs.
Sat right across from
with
each
John
other.
Hunt. And
you got me to laugh, and I got you to laugh.
Oh, yes, we did.
We had some fun.
That was the best committee to be on, and those were good days. 10 and 12. No, 11 and 12.
Yeah. Was that when O'Brien was?
Yeah, that was Bill O'Brien.
That was awful.
Oh, yeah.
There was 297 against 103. I was one of the 103.
Yeah.
I think I held my own.
Oh, I think you did a great job.
Yeah.
Especially in committee.
Well, I don't think people really understand. That's where it all takes place.
That's where all the business takes place, and you were never shy.
No.
So, and I love that about you because you're very candid about, and it was a fun group we had. I'm trying to tick off the names if we could, but anyway.
A couple of them had kicked off, by the way. I died. Flanders, I'm sorry, he was there for like 25 years. But But people don't understand. I try to explain to them, commerce is banking. You can, all right?
And that's my background, and insurance.
And insurance.
And general commerce on the small business, medium business level.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's not an easy, and it's not the busiest, but it's, I think, most diverse. Banking, insurance, and consumer affairs. And if it wasn't for consumer affairs, we'd all go nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Consumer affairs was fun.
It was. I mean, consumer affairs was really ostensibly what it's all about. Protect the consumer, but
exactly.
It was, what was going on there. Everybody wants to protect their territory.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it.
Well, we did a lot of liquor things. That was...
The Liquor Commission and all that.
That's a big deal.
That's a big, how much, a big portion of our state budget always impresses me.
664 million.
Huge. I guess to the rest of the country, we're the biggest drinkers in the nation.
Yeah.
Not really, but we sell it all to our neighbor.
No, we are. Excuse me, we are.
We are.
Let's get that. I think we drink more beer. But somebody put a bill in. I love this one now. I want to own a store that sells marijuana, okay?
Okay, yeah, medical
marijuana.
But
the state comes along and is going to pass a bill that you have to buy your medical marijuana at the state liquor stores.
No.
Yes.
I haven't heard that, but
Think about it.
To put that under the shepherd of the Liquor Commission, I don't know.
Oh, boy. Well, it's going to be the second largest money maker.
They'll be calling the shots on everything in Concord. They'll just have all the money coming in. And
Well, and I can imagine we can undersell everyone for marijuana. Or if you think people are coming up here for cigarettes in our beer and liquor,
Yeah.
well, you watch. They'll be taking
yeah.
number to buy your medical marijuana.
oh my God, so we really have a bill in there now.
There is a bill in there.
Okay.
And not enough people have stood up and said, well, wait a minute, let's have it private.
Yeah.
But private, it's so, I mean, my God.
Well, there's only allowance, Ken, sorry. Do we have permission for, legislature giving us permission for? There's a limited number of these things we can have, these outlets. I don't think,
that's how it is now. I mean,
it'll change.
It's, but I think in the liquor stores, I think that would, if the state, if we really wanted to make money, I mean, real money, that's where we would do it.
Yeah, I suppose so.
No taxes.
I have no idea what the margins are on that kind of
monstrous
commerce, but it really.
Commerce.
Yeah.
Banking.
You're allowed to make a lot of money.
Yeah, banking, right? Insurance, marijuana, consumer affairs.
Oh my God, that's wonderful. And John Hunt would be just the guy to do it. John is the chairman, longtime chairman of Commerce for many years. He's very good. He has all the history and he has all the institutional knowledge.
Oh my God!
What a great guy too. I liked it.
I had. I think I've said this to. I'm not sure if I said this to John, but O'Brien sat where you sat for 31 shows after he was speaker.
Yes.
So I was friends with him before because I would go up there, go in his office. He said, "Come in after my lunch." We're in his office yelling and screaming at one another. And I swear, so people would come in and see what we're doing, and then we're laughing. And finally, when he left...
That's you, Ken.
Yeah, so when he left, I said to Richard, I said, well, I don't think he's going to feel safe with me because how I go after, but you know how I am. Richard manages the station, runs the station. Talk to him because I'm not going to, go after him too much.
No, you know a little bit.
And one day, you got to remember, I'm the only Democrat. One day, he walks in with Pam Tucker,
yeah.
Al Baldessaro, and him.
Oh, that's a threesome to deal with.
He sat at the end of the table and smiled. So I had to apologize to the camera. I said, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We all know it takes 4 Republicans to beat up 1 Democrat. They only have 3. I'll go easy on them.
Yeah. I'll back off. I'll give them some room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, those are fun days and fun. I try to pay attention these days, but then I'm doing the alderman thing for the last 4 years. So
tell me about it.
Well, you're about to come in. Congratulations on the win, by the way.
Thank you.
So I think you're going to enjoy it. You love the city. I know that. It's you can do both jobs.
Yes.
I don't think you'll have any problem with that.
Well, there's 4 of us who are
It depends.
representatives and aldermen.
Yes, there are. There is. Well, Don LeBrun is gone. O'Brien.
Schmidt.
Jan Schmidt.
Myself. Who else? There's one more.
There is one. There was Pam. Pam's gone now.
Well, Don still can, as a state representative, he still can play
right, but he's not, he didn't get reelected.
Well, what happened, ladies and gentlemen, is the Trump effect.
And I don't believe, ladies and gentlemen, it was the Trump effect.
Right out.
I don't know how the general constituent can, associate a lot of Republican candidates with the Trump effect, but people seem to do it.
I beg your pardon. People are waking up, and now with a net neutrality thing, I just can't believe this guy. In other words, it's like a small business. How all these big businesses started, right?
Right.
Small.
Yeah.
And the majority of business that works is small business. Now the companies, if you compete, try to start a Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Now the providers can turn around and say, we're going to charge Netflix more. You won't be able to compete with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. It's a danger. It's
Anyway, there's so much. Now,
it's
what committee are you in?
I'm in a number of them, but I would say the most important and an interesting one, because you might personally be interested, you're going to ask McCarthy or whoever, for your choices, but infrastructure, very important to the city. I mean, I've always had a passion for the roads.
Yeah.
And just our basic infrastructure, we've got sewer, water, and everything else. Well, we have Pennachuck. But to me, that's most interesting, probably the most activity.
Infrastructure?
Yeah, and it deals a lot with stop signs, which are somewhat mundane and not very exciting, but they're important things. Stop signs and intersections, but infrastructure. What else am I on? I'm a liaison to the planning board, which is interesting. Just working with all the plans and make new construction and things like that. And what else? I'm vice chairman of the special Pennachuck Water Committee, which didn't meet very much this year. And normally that's not too complex. It's financially related. And they've been doing a great job the last several years.
Making money?
We're making money. We're going through all the procedures right. They're a well-run company, in my opinion. And we've been refinancing debt down to lower interest rates, consolidating debt, paying off the goodwill that we purchased the company with. So, that's just an interesting committee. And Pennachuck, I think the city's done a great job with that. Very unique in the country. Get on that committee. You like that. And those guys are gentlemen.
Oh,
Larry
no,
Good,
they're going to
Larry
be gentlemen.
Goodhue.
I'm not going to have any fun then. I want to
No,
argue.
you're not going to have any fun in that because they're all good-natured and the business is pretty straightforward and financial oriented. You have human resources, personnel, a budget committee. I'm on the budget committee at the moment. That's kind of tough at the end of the year.
No,
Starts in March, April, May, June. And, you're line item by line item. And nobody really likes that job.
No, I wrote.
So Brian gave it to me, which I'm happy to take.
Yeah, well.
But no one really likes budget.
Well, I put down, look, 10 years up there doing what I'm doing. Please, no budget or finance.
You might get off the hook on that if you volunteer for a couple of things. But
yeah. Yeah,
but you'll find it. You're going to find it very interesting. And I always thought, my experience certainly in the State House for those 2 years was probably if I look back, the best job I ever had.
State House.
And what do they pay us?
Nothing.
Well, $100 a year.
Yes. Nobody believes that, by the way. Nobody.
I know. No one does.
Nobody believes that out of state. We've had.
Yeah, they say, well, how much you make? I make 100. Oh, you make 100 grand. That's pretty good for a legislator. No, $100.
Well,
and
you know how we treat it as representatives. So what?
Yeah, no, we're up there because we want to do it.
No, but I mean respectfully. Who cares?
Absolutely. I don't care. Yeah. Best job I ever had in my life, and didn't get paid for it. So,
why?
If I had a calling and I could go back in time and say, Sean, don't be the banker, get into politics. I bet you'd be good at this. But, I liked it that much.
Well, it's
just interesting, and there's a lot at stake.
You have to justify it, and for not getting money. In fact, it cost you probably about 25 grand a year just to do it.
Oh, yeah. I sacrificed it.
Clothes and food and vehicles, and I was in 2 accidents, automobile accidents. I mean.
Yeah. And if you don't have the time, I was fortunately self-employed, so I could make room.
Yes.
I could be up there at 10 o'clock at night if I had to be.
Yes.
A lot of folks can't do that unless you're retired or you're young and you don't. I don't know, but we managed. We managed all of it.
What how I there was I think it was a professor on taught politics, Keene State, I think it was,
Keene State.
Yeah, the politics and how everything works. And he became a representative for 2 years.
While he was teaching.
Well, he was a professor, and he went back to his classes and said, anybody who spends 2 years up there, gets a college education immediately.
Oh, absolutely. Do you get an education? A college education. You get an excellent education. You're in the,
I think that's probably why I did it and do it. It's because it's so, you can't get that. It's nowhere.
You got to do it with your own hands and get up there and deal with people and say, oh. It took relatively quick. It was quick for me. I mean, after a few months, I said, oh boy, I'm starting to get this now. I understand. I understand a great many things now.
Well, I mean, you're a Republican, for God's sake. There's more Republicans up there than fleas on a dog on a hot summer night. I mean, they're all over the place.
As there ought to be.
It was only 103 of us, so it was only 4 in each committee. So we had to, that's where we learned how to, jostle. And John, I always tell John, thank you for giving me the time, because he let me speak.
Oh, yeah, he did. He was always very good about that.
Yeah.
And to your credit, you were always good. You had a good argument. Wasn't always right, but...
What did he say? I never won.
No, just listen to him. He has something to say.
Yeah. Well, we got to the point where people were coming in just to see what was going to happen in our room, because our room sometimes got a little,
heated.
Yeah, I got a little heated. A few times, a couple years I was there, geez, oh my God, it was.
Yeah, we had, well, I wish I could recall incidents, and it would take far too long, but yeah, we had a couple of dust-ups, as they say, in those, John had a caucus once, and he kicked all you guys out. And
oh, yeah.
You're out of here. Get out of here. This is Republicans only.
Yeah. I just...
And then you'd go off and do what you were doing, and then you come back together and fight it out. Fun days.
Well, it's, and I don't think people really realize, it really, and what surprises me, well, newspapers can do it, but what surprises me, especially with the Telegraph redoing itself, if they only knew where the action took place.
I think people mostly realize that, but they don't.
They don't understand. It is in the committees.
Yeah, it's all that recommendation that comes out of committee. Very rarely does something descend into an open debate on the floor. I mean, well, if it's controversial, but the decision's been made and recommended to the entire.
Yeah, well, it's a lot worse now. But I love the Senate. 24-0, they sent it to us, and we knew there was something wrong with it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they do that.
Yeah, they do.
And then all of a sudden, we start looking at what they have done, and we'd find out that they just passed it. Like all the corporate laws, they just passed it and wanted us to do this all in 10 days. No, that's not going to work out. And then we find mistakes, which they didn't find. So it's quite interesting.
It's a process, yeah. Process, and it's very.
And then you get out on the floor, and the floor is kind of dull. Well, I should say that
There's stuff going on.
You missed the time when Sean Jasper wanted to become, speaker, and they voted for O'Brien in the caucus.
Yes.
And Sean went out, and O'Brien didn't get it on the first vote. So 2 people stood up and nominated Jasper. And
Democrats, I believe.
Democrats voted for him. O'Brien lost. 125 Republicans got up and walked out, crossed the street, and opened their own place. 125 Republicans, rather.
Yeah, I remember that. It was very suspicious about that, but it was what it was. It was a parliamentary maneuver.
Well, I know a couple. I know, for instance, Dave Campbell.
Yeah.
He wanted to be speaker, and it was Morelli who was. And I know that with the Republicans and some of the Democrats, he went in a caucus. They nominated Morelli, but if he would have gone out and said, "I'm putting my name in," he could have won. Because at the end, even the Democrats didn't find Morelli pleasurable person.
Yeah, I know. But Dave Campbell, I like Dave personally as a friend, and you know, he would make a good speaker. Well, he's a Democrat, but you know, if I look at the man, I said, you know, he would have done a good job.
You know,
I like Dave, and I don't care about the story, you know, on
the ducks.
the duck story.
Oh.
I mean, I called him after that. And I said, listen, I'm really sorry you have to go through this. So you bumped a couple of ducks. I mean,
he
it's
kills
not a
ducks with his car. People are drunk out there or something.
You know.
He stopped. He pulls in the garage and goes back. Oh, now he's been drinking.
Oh, jeez.
They kill the ducks. He kills 2 ducks. The cops come. They give him a ticket for killing waterfowl out of season. That's his.
No, they did. I don't remember that part,
Yeah,
but they did.
waterfowl out of season. His fine was $600, and he gave $600 to the Audubon.
Yeah.
But then the Republicans went over and had prayer vigils over the ducks. I swear. This is where the ducks.
I would have nothing to do with that. I thought the whole thing was silly, and I told him that. He said, "I appreciate it, Sean. I appreciate it." But yeah, there were some that really just relished the whole
Over
idea
ducks.
of Dave getting in trouble about ducks.
Wood ducks.
I know.
Some
of the things that fly by are too much.
I'll tell you what I dislike, and I've talked about this before, is there is a free stater, as you know, McGuire. McGuire's a free stater.
Yes, I
right?
know that.
He's gone. She's still there. Now, what they have is they have a committee that goes through every single bill, and she leads it. So she turns around and writes no or yes and gets the group to agree with it as a free stater. And the guy's sitting right next to me. He doesn't have a calendar.
Yeah.
He has read nothing. He doesn't even have an iPhone or an iPad.
He just does what he's told.
Yeah. Well, he's got the paper. He's sitting right next to me, and I'm saying, "No."
Well, everybody's got those papers.
Well, I know that, but that's all he has, and I'm telling him this is what's. Presses the button. Let's see. This is what it says, because my report card, and I'm going. They got to get rid of those. Democrats and Republicans both, but Republicans
What do we call
100% of the time.
Yeah, hot sheets, or every caucus or group had some kind of a.
This is probably the worst thing that can happen in politics is when you can't go to all the committee meetings.
Right.
Okay? So you need some advice. Usually, if it comes out of committee like 17-1, that means most of the Republicans and most of the Democrats voted for it. So if it's no, then you vote no, really. But they'd come along and go, vote yes, when 17-1 voted no, and they would pass it.
Jeez.
And then the Republicans would come out of committee, they'd vote no, they'd vote yes out in the House. And I'll tell you what, if people could see the committees, what they vote, and watch them go out and vote in the House, you wouldn't be around. We wouldn't be around, because too many people see what takes place in the committees. You get all the information.
That's where you get it, yeah.
And then you get the pressure to vote against it.
Well, it sounds like, pressure sometimes prevails.
Now, what's the difference between, now I'm going to be here in Nashua, and I'm in Ward 6. Well, now you're in Ward
1. I'm up in that northwestern section by the airport, which is
measure.
probably the largest population by voting constituency. But
give me where are the streets?
For my ward,
the main.
Broad Street, between the river, the Nashua Mall, the river and the high school on the south end, and the airport in the north end, the highway and Hollis Line.
Really, that far?
Yeah.
A big one.
Yeah, it is pretty much. A lot of it's, more than half of it's seasoned neighborhoods, you know, a lot of homes built there in the 50s, 60s, 70s. But yeah, so I have Broad Street and Amherst Street running through.
Wow.
That's me. Now, Ward 6, I couldn't define that as well.
Well, Ward 6, I say from Hayward's Ice Cream,
Yeah.
basically up to Hollis Street.
Down where my brother-in-law lives.
Yeah, you take a left at Hollis Street. We got the cemetery. On the right is another ward.
Yeah.
Then you go down like the Lund Road, then up Robinson Road, and that's it.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
No, actually, they brought us across you'll love this one. They brought us across the bridge. We have one place across the bridge at Ward 6, the nursing home.
Oh.
So you go in there, and you can't.
That's the only place right there
That's
at that
it.
exit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go over the bridge, everything on as you turn, everything on the right.
I'm just trying to picture the map in my head, but it makes sense, you know.
It's
You're right.
weird.
It is strange.
It is weird.
Gerrymandering.
So what have I got to look forward to now?
Well, a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, I don't know what's controversial down in your area. I mean, down in there's nothing coming out of there that anybody's particularly worried about.
Can I invent something to make it interesting?
You can stir the pot and make dust up
right.
all kinds of stuff if you want.
How about possums and raccoons? And,
Yeah. Right.
and
Well, we've had bears in the area down there. I think some bears and some coyotes.
I got, we got, we leave we've got our whole area is fenced because we got a dog.
Yeah.
So let the dog out, the dog runs. Problem is, so we leave like the porch door open. You walk in, there's a porch, you close the door, you open the house, you go in, there's a porch door over there. So
Sure.
skunk came in.
Yeah.
We had dog food and birdseed. Skunk came in, and I scared him, and he scared me, so he runs this way, and I run this way. The problem is, I got to get over there to get back into the house, and if he wants to get out, he's got to come over where I am. So we're caught.
So what do you make? You're sitting down with him and trying to make a deal.
No, I mean,
okay, you go left, I'll go right.
No, you just don't. No.
You don't do that with this.
No, I went out the other door, actually.
Yeah.
Actually, if you're just quiet with them, they won't bother you.
Yeah, they're not going to spray you unless they're attacked or something like that.
Yeah, well,
I hope.
Of course, the dog comes out, that's it.
Yeah.
And they're not smart enough.
Yeah.
And so I've got caught, and we've had possum lately.
Possum, yeah.
I cannot believe the possums. We had one in our yard, for God's sakes.
My son caught one in one of those Habitrail Havahart cages.
Why?
Because we were trying to catch red squirrels because they were getting in the house.
Oh, they're in the house?
Yeah,
Well, why don't
so-
you close your doors?
Well, they get up through the rafters in the, somehow they chewed their way in and they were up in the attic, so.
Red squirrels?
Yes. They're nasty. They run around inside and.
Well, what do you think they're going to do? Think they're going to play cards?
Well, they
or
love it in there. It's nice and warm and, you know.
McGinnis Hotel.
Yeah, right.
We had
For all the rodents. Red squirrels are worse than the gray squirrels. Trust me on this.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and my son caught a possum. He was playing with they're ugly things. They're like big hairless rats.
Yeah. Oh,
And they exist in Nashua. Yes,
had-
ladies and gentlemen, they exist in Nashua.
Why? Why the possums all of a sudden? This is within the last 5 years.
We got a lot of wildlife. I mean, up in my ward, there was a deer in my yard last week.
What?
A deer. I seen a fisher cat come through last year, a couple of bear in my yard.
Bear?
Bear. Well, I'm right on the Hollis line, too.
Yeah.
You know, that big apron of scrub brush behind the airport?
Yeah.
There's a lot of wild animals back there and stuff. So, but we get them wandering right in through our neck of the woods. Anything and everything. For Nashua proper city, you know.
Jeez, when I grew up, of course, where I am in the South End, my family's lived in Ward 6 for 100 years, and I've lived in the same house I helped my father build in the 60s, so I've lived in one place, but when we were there, it was nothing.
Yeah.
A deer would come down because the big highway wasn't up.
Yeah. Even I remember that. I moved here in '79, but I remember, boy,
Where are you from originally?
my father was in electronics, the military-industrial complex stuff, Texas Instruments and General Electric. So we moved around a lot. Syracuse, New York, Texas, Baltimore, Acton, Massachusetts, though. That's where I went to high school.
Acton.
Acton's just south of here. I mean, maybe folks know it. I mean, it's down by West.
How did you get here?
I went to Daniel Webster to fly airplanes.
Oh, my God.
I came up here in '79 to fly airplanes at Daniel Webster College.
And so how'd you do?
Well, I flew airplanes, but I didn't do that for a living.
I took like 4 lessons, and I went up with the guy, and he tells me what to do if the engine stalls.
Yeah, right.
Push the thing forward.
Right.
He tells me.
Because you want to get.
Yeah, you just go like that, no matter if you're 200 feet up the ground.
You need to pick up airspeed, or you're going to drop out of the sky.
Yeah, so he said he was in two accidents, but he survived them. You know what I said?
I'm not going with you.
No, I said, turn around. He says, you still got 20 minutes. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I don't know how people can get in these little small things.
Well,
I couldn't understand that. Everybody thinks it's fun. You can't see over the thing.
well, sure you can. What do you mean, over the dashboard?
Well, it was, you really, no, too noisy.
Yeah, I guess. They are noisy and loud. It's just like an aluminum can. I mean, it's that thin. But it's like real flying. Get on your
like real
747,
flying.
and that's not flying.
No, no, I just, I went with him once, and we were going to go, I think, Rockland, someplace, Vermont. So it's snowing out. He goes, can you see a landing strip? And I go, excuse me? Can I see a landing strip? You're flying the
right
plane,
now.
don't you know? Well,
Have you been here before?
yeah, there is the ski mountain. It's around here someplace. What do you mean it's around here someplace?
Yeah. Right. Well, it is kind of hard. I mean, if you're up even 5,000 feet, everything's smaller. It's like a little land of Lilliputians or something down there,
Yeah. Well, all my plane experience is, I think this was finalized that we're going to go jump out of a plane once, right?
Yeah, parachute.
Yeah, once. So we took the lessons in the morning, and who wants to be first out? Me. I'll go out first.
You didn't.
Right? No. So that means you're the last one in.
Yeah.
And as we're getting in, he says, "Oh, there's one of my students who jumps out of the plane. His parachute doesn't open." So I'm going, "That's one of your students?" And finally, the other parachute opened. He said, "I hope he doesn't hit the power lines." And I go, "And I'm going to go up in this?"
This sounds like a fiasco.
So they got this little thing on you. It's like a walkie-talkie. They'll tell you what to do. I jump out of the freaking plane. The walkie-talkie breaks. I'm going down. I'm going, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
You
got a good scare.
A bird flies by and looks up at me like this and keeps flying. That's it.
Yeah.
Birds.
What an interesting ride you had.
Yeah, well,
You'd be telling that story at the cocktail hour.
I almost
turn a lot of heads.
Yeah, well, they were mad at me. I didn't jump out of the plane right. And,
yeah.
I still got the.
Well, that'd be you.
Yeah, well, landed. Pull this, and it goes this way. Well, the thing's not working. What do you want me to do? And then I was landing in the trees, and he said it was the worst jump I've ever seen. I said, it's going to be the last one out of me.
Yeah. I'm surprised you did it. I chickened out. I was going to do that, and I just couldn't make myself get out of that airplane. So I'm impressed that you had the guts to do it.
Well, actually, it's not. It's stupidity after you do it once.
That too, yeah.
And you put your legs together, and what it is that you don't really realize you're coming down until you're about 50 feet from the ground.
Yeah.
You're only going about 80 miles an hour, but you don't realize it.
Well, yeah.
So I put your feet together, right? And
Take the impact, I guess.
It's like jumping off, I'm not kidding, 12 feet. That's how hard you hit.
Is that how hard? I
Yeah.
just wondered, like you get on an 8-foot ladder, would that be it? No.
Oh, no. And I'll tell you, it comes up really fast. It's like nothing. And then all of a sudden, like that.
Ouch.
Ouch. Yes, I cracked a leg bone and hobbled over.
Yeah.
Bad jump. Good. Give me my certificate. And I drove back to Boston.
Never doing that again.
No, I did. No, I can't see that. Well, let's get to politics. You
sure.
ran again.
Yeah.
And you came in second.
I came in second. This last election, yeah. Well, all of the incumbents we all lost. Again, is that Trump effect? I don't know.
It was, yeah.
A lot of people say that. I just
No, people are fed
resistant
up
to
with it.
kind of don't want to believe that, but
Do you think
it is what it is?
Do you think one of the reasons why is you didn't vote for the arts type thing?
No. I think personally, I always try to look at myself first and say you didn't do enough work. I think Jan, my opponent on,
Jan Schmidt.
Yeah, we've run against each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she did. She worked hard for that. I know she spent some money and she worked hard. She worked harder than me. So I think that, I've been sick lately. And so...
and now let's get into that part. You have been sick. You have cancer.
I have cancer, yes.
And you have 6% of a chance of, or 10% of...
Well, it's pretty
survival.
low. It's terminal, and it's... I don't know where they came up with 6%, but it's a 6% survival rate. And I was diagnosed 2.5 years ago.
So, and how long...
So my chances of being around
Yeah.
are pretty slim.
Well, what's the timetable? Did they give you a timetable?
6 months to a year, and maybe longer.
So how you feeling?
Terrible. I don't feel good tonight.
I know.
But we had a nice lunch the other day too. By the way, we did have a good time.
Oh, for God's sake, you're self-medicated. Talk about margaritas like this. God.
Well, I have to do that. I mean, but I was very, very sick this morning, and I said I can't call Ken and not do this for him tonight. So here I am. But I'm not in too bad a shape. But I take
how 6 months to live. How do you handle that? How does your family handle this?
Well, it is what it is. I mean, you can't do anything about it.
Can you get away with more?
You can get away with a lot of stuff. My wife lets me do anything I want.
How will they take it? So you have children, kids?
Yeah, all my kids are older. They're all in their 20s.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a big deal, really. It's just it's uncomfortable. When I ran for my third run here this past election, I wasn't sure I was going to do it because prognosis was, it was pretty good then. Yeah, you can make it. You'll be fine. You got another 3 years in you. Well, it turns out, so then I delayed filing, and I convinced myself I'm going to make it. Nobody's going to admit to themselves that they're not going to, right?
Yeah.
So I ran. But then, somewhere around September, it started to get bad. So I said, boy, probably shouldn't have tried to take this job again.
6 months. Do you think, how do you think
the worst
about
case.
that?
That's the worst case.
How do you think about this? How does it affect you?
Well, I mean,
have you come to peace with...
Oh, yeah. There's nothing you can do. I just wanted to... Most cancer cycles, too, are you come down, and then you drop.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to ride a long slope. I hope that's the case with me. I had a good friend of mine passed away 2 years ago. That's what happened to her. December, January, we were all having New Year's parties, laughing and joking. 2 months later, she was dead. Just like that. So it's not like the fear for me is just long extended.
You don't want to be sick.
Nobody wants to suffer. I mean, none of us would in the hospital or anything. That's all I'm worried about.
Do you look ahead? I'm trying to. I thought I had.
You're trying to figure out.
No. I thought I had lung cancer because they found a spot.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
it's a
big
scary
spot,
moment when
all
they
right?
tell you that, yeah.
So I was pretty scared, and I'm sort of, what do I do? Put things in order. What do I do? And you were at, I got over that, but you're there. What do you do? How do you everything in order? Your families,
Yeah,
what?
yeah, I've made sure all that stuff is taken care of. All the, legal and financial and all that stuff is all set. And so you worry about that for your family, but other than that, there's nothing you can do. I do as much as I can. I mean, we've been traveling a little bit. A year or so ago, went to Costa Rica and down to Puerto Rico sometime after that. We're trying to travel, get on an airplane and go. But hey, listen, it doesn't have to be 6 months or a year because, I was first diagnosed, they gave me 2, and it's been 3. So the doctors, they tell you, even though we can kind of guess at this thing, nobody really knows.
Well, what
Nobody really knows.
It was an appendix or something?
What I had was a very, very, very rare thing. When I say rare, very rare, appendiceal cancer, which is your appendix. And sure, going to work one morning, I just said, not feeling good. Went into the hospital. They couldn't figure it out. They said, nice young woman doctor said, I think I know what you have. You have appendicitis. I said, well, that's impossible. Young people get that. You got it. So anyway, they took it out of me and found out that I had that. Now, about 600 people a year would get this, and it's very virulent, it's analogous to pancreatic cancer, which there's also no cure for, and very deadly.
So my sister died from.
Yeah, when you get pancreatic cancer, you're done. You're done. Well, this is on the same odds, the same chance. But the thing about that is it's so rare that there's no pharmaceutical companies or anybody, doctors who want to make a profession out of it or study it. You gotta excuse my voice, everyone. Nobody wants to study it because there's no
money in it.
There's nobody in it. There's no money in it.
No money in it.
There's no money in it. So they treat you for something close.
Do you have like radiation or?
Just chemotherapy.
Yeah, what does that consist of?
Well, they just pump a lot of toxic chemicals into you every couple of weeks. But as of late, just before the election, I was told that this isn't working for you anymore. There's nothing more we can do. So now I'm on hospice. And all hospice does is give you the pain relievers until you're done. You're kind of like angels of death because there's nothing they can do. I mean, my doctor said, tried everything. Nothing's going to work. So you just go into, let it take its natural course and see what happens. It's very interesting, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid, and I'm not afraid of talking about it. I learn a lot by talking to people.
I want to know.
Who knows? I could get lucky.
And there are people out there who have gone through or know people who have gone through this. It's you're not afraid.
I don't know why that is, but I've talked to a lot of other cancer victim survivors, and most people that have a similar situation as mine are not afraid. I don't know why that is. Some people think they say they are, but
I'm not going to tell.
I'm not. I've had a good, rich life. I just turned 60. I feel bad for little kids in Shriners Hospital that didn't have a chance in life. And they got leukemia and they're not going to make it. I've had a great life. It's a little
Except being a Republican.
That was the problem.
I wouldn't wish cancer on even my worst Republican friends. I mean, I'll tell you.
Well, I grew up in a household of a split. My mother was a Democrat, my father Republican. All us kids split, so we would have lively conversations at the kitchen table, let me tell you that. And we're all still get along great and love each other, but there are two sides.
Your parents are alive or?
My father passed away a year ago. But everyone else is, yeah.
Mama's?
Yeah, well, we're getting on. She's 87, so.
What, brothers,
It's
sisters?
it's our time. You're a little older than I am, but you still have your parents?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Your brothers and sisters?
Oh, yeah, they're all doing healthy and well.
How many?
5, including myself.
5?
Big Catholic family, big Irish Catholic family.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, right.
You big Irish family.
Yeah.
So you, brothers, sisters?
Well,
What?
you know, the Catholics didn't practice birth control.
Yes, we
all,
know.
We all know that, ladies and gentlemen, right? That was the olden days.
And you were what? And where were you in the family?
I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest?
Yeah. So.
Oh. I was a middle child. 2 sisters. One
Now,
above,
that's
one
what
below.
happened to you. Because the middle
Terrible.
child gets beat on from both sides.
Well,
Doesn't get listened to.
You know, I hear all
That's
that.
what happened.
You know, I hear about all these crazy things taking place. You grow up with 2 sisters, and
Oh
you got
my
a mother
God.
and a father.
I have 2 sisters.
And I got news for you. You respect your sisters who are women.
Oh, yeah.
I had a younger sister. She had any problems, someone would, guys would. She had no problems, and I'm in jail, and they're bailing me out. So what do you, I'm just fascinated.
Well, the health thing is kind of boring. It's kind of.
Well, it is, but
I talk about it because it's good to talk about it. And some people are a little sketchy and shy about that subject, but most people are not.
Who's taking it bad?
And I learn a lot by having a conversation with somebody. So and so is doing this now. Padre Pio down in Brazil. Go down there. Well, I'm not sure I'm going to go down there and get. But people have interesting ideas or they have stories to tell. So it's good to talk about, and it's comfortable to talk about.
Who's taking it worse in your family?
What's that?
Who is feeling it the worst in your family?
No one really. My boys maybe.
Yeah. Well,
We do stuff together.
yeah, it's.
I just can't get out there. I'm not a hunter, but I shoot. But I'm not a hunter.
Hunter, why? You just sit in your backyard.
Well, my wife wants my son wants to get me out shooting ducks, and I don't want to shoot ducks.
Ducks.
Well, it's the season.
Buy one.
I know, buy one.
Buy a duck.
I don't want to go shoot one, but he wants me to come with him. I said, listen, it's too damn cold out there. He wants to get me hunting before, he can't do it
Because
anymore.
You can't do it.
And fishing is the same way, and things that they like to do with me. So, but
Your wife work, or is she?
yeah, she does. Yeah, she does real estate. She was a director of hotels for Sheraton Wayfair for many years, and she's done a lot of different things. But she does that, and I was in banking, mortgage banking. But now I'm no longer working. You could say I'm retired. I am really. I couldn't do it anymore. So I left the company, Triangle Credit Union, about 4 months ago. And now I'm not being reelected, so I won't have the alderman duties. I'm running out of things to do, Ken. That's why I bought the plow for my truck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna plow driveways.
we meet at Shorty's. I guess that's your favorite. Everybody knows you. And he's drinking these margaritas, right? And you had 2.
It helps.
You had 2, and I'm going. You're going down to get a plow for your truck.
Ernie's, yeah.
So I'm going.
Well, it was all ready to pick up, and they were going to give me the lesson, the tutorial. It's complicated, this plow business, ladies and gentlemen.
You're not planning.
Have some respect for those guys out there on those cold days.
You know something? You're not planning on dying.
No, I'm not planning on dying. I don't
Planning
think
on
about. I don't
living.
think about it.
You're planning on living.
I am planning on living. It may not be that way, but
No, is that
you
how?
don't wake up in the morning saying, "Oh, this is terrible, poor me." You get up and you.
Well, that's not your personality. There are people here. I couldn't sit here and talk to some people. I can talk to you because there's always humor in everything. I mean, I meet him at Shorty's. He's drinking a margarita. He's going to have a plop under his truck. And by the way, I'm dying. What? But I might go hunting ducks. And why hunt? I got bear in the backyard. I got possum.
I'm not hunting ducks, and there are possum in the backyard. But yeah, I know that sounds kind of funny, but
Yeah. No, that's what you said. You're drinking margaritas, right? And I'm sitting there.
and that's the doctor says that's fine. Margaritas are perfectly good.
I got 6% of chance of living, and I'm going down to have a plow put on my truck. I'm going, this guy's a little strange.
I'm going to have fun this year, and if anybody ever gets in a jam their guy didn't show up or whatever, give Sean a call. I'll come over and do your driveway. For fun.
Margaritas.
For fun. I'm going to call it one-off plowing.
One-off?
Sean's one-off plowing.
Why one-off?
Yeah, there's a few people who have never heard that expression before. Do you know what a one-off is?
No.
Something one time taken out of the normal character of a event or situation. So not on a regular basis. One-off. You never heard that expression?
No.
Yeah, somebody else was confused by that the other day.
I gotta,
so the bottom line was they're not going to recognize what one-off means. Sure, everybody knows what a one-off is.
yeah, and then by the time they want to figure out, you're not around. Where is he?
He's doing somebody else's. I'm working for Mayor Donchis. He's helping him plow the skate park parking lot or something. I don't know. Maybe there's something to do there.
I just couldn't, I got to tell you something. Your name came up and someone said, I don't know why he's running. He's so sick. And I said...
Well, I didn't think I would be. I thought I was getting better, but I would not have put the city in a situation where I would have had to resign from office. I didn't believe that was going to happen to me until I was already into it. In September, it really started getting hard. I said, geez, I probably shouldn't have done that. It's unfair to the city, the Board of Aldermen. Assuming I would have won.
Yeah.
It would have been like not a very nice thing to do to the city. So I did labor over that decision. And sure enough, I started getting better, and then, and they did.
But you're friends with Jan. Jan's not a.
Oh, we're friends. Yes, we certainly are. I mean, we're on opposite sides of most of the issues.
Yeah.
But in a friendly way. I mean, she's just to the left, and I'm to the right, and we look at taxes and certain things differently. But yeah, Jan is charming, and we get along great. I mean, I've beaten her 3 times. She's beaten me twice, Jan. I think twice you beat me now. And I beat you 3 times, so I'm still ahead.
And that's it.
But that's it for me now. It's all yours.
We're leaving it. We're leaving it.
It's all yours.
This person said to me, why is he running? And I said, he's running because he's not planning on dying.
That's exactly right, Ken. I'm not planning on
dying.
dying.
And when I went to have lunch with you, margaritas, right? And you had something to eat. I gotta get these margaritas.
It's not like, ladies and gentlemen, it's not like he says it is.
But then you're going down and have a popcorn in your truck, and I'm going, this guy's not dying. He's going to go have some fun.
You don't think that way, believe me. You don't think you're going to. You can't. I mean, you just don't think you do. And I didn't think. And I still kind of don't. I think I'm one of the lucky few. I'm the 6%. At least I got to believe that. Anyway, enough about my health.
No, but the thing is that you got a good sense of humor too.
Oh, you got to have
We've had fun.
Oh, yes, we have had fun.
I still,
State House was, like I said, that was my favorite job. I wish I could have got paid something for it. But it was,
yeah.
We had fun up there, and we had, the committee we were on, we had some great people. Fred Rice, remember Fred Rice?
I know Fred Rice well.
Yeah.
In fact, we wrote a bill studying the economic impact of the arts and culture, state of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
We've got information that can help Nashua. And I was supposed to write about 25 pages on it. I didn't. And I got news for you. Arts pay a lot more money than people know.
Yeah.
But there's a couple things you must do to change the attitude. People in New Hampshire don't buy art.
Well,
that's the
they
problem.
don't. We're kind of a tougher natured character. I mean, there's a lot of people that appreciate art. I'm not so sure. Maybe this whole thing with the Arts Center, and you did touch on that a little bit. Yes, I did not vote for it as it exists. I voted for the referendum because I want to see.
Yeah, I want you to tell them why you didn't vote for it.
Well, I mean, in a nutshell, there's a group of folks, you could define it narrowly or broadly, that have a special interest in it. And it's usually arts community folks here in the city. A lot of merchants downtown would like to see anything that improves downtown is good for them. And that group of artisans, and they're wonderful people, and They have an agenda, and they weren't very well planned. They weren't planned. They want to spend $15 million on this whole project. They don't even come with a pro forma budget that tells them they can make any money. We think we can get revenue of $1 million, but we won't raise $700,000 on our own. So we're going to need the city to subsidize it. I mean, who comes to the Board of Aldermen with a plan like that?
Well,
And you're going to put $12 million into renovating an existing building, $12 million to something that's not quite certain how many people are going to be interested in this. Can they make money? Can they? Now, I think the idea is great. I would go. I mean, I support it in concept. I do.
Well,
But, I'm not voting for $15 million and a $300,000 budget deficit. And if they want to do it right, they got to find somebody good to run it, to get business in there. I'm talking a sales marketing person. And you can't pay him $30,000. You got to pay him something decent and get the job done. And that belly up to a salary of 60, 65, 70, and get somebody, and that costs money. But what will happen is a collection of people with the special interests are going to appoint their friends, and it's not.
No.
Well, I know that's what's going to happen.
No, that can't happen. No, I'm going to tell you.
And it's not going to be a serious effort. That's a lot of things to say about an issue, but it's essentially what it boiled down for me is that's what I felt about it. It's not ready for prime time. It's a good thing. It's a good idea, but not ready for prime time.
Well,
and a lot of, if I may add, a lot of fixed income and constituents and older folks. I got a lot of letters that said, "You're not going to vote for this, are you?" A lot of people telling me this is a crazy idea. So, that the referendum itself narrowly passed. So it wasn't like there was an overwhelming population of support for this thing. A lot of people didn't like it, didn't like the money that was being spent on it. Simply not ready for prime time. We could talk about it as we go forward. It's going to be a new board of directors now, and you're going to be on there. For God's sakes, get them to produce some financial sense and soundness.
Yes. I think we're going to go for about another half hour, if that's okay with Richard. If Richard yells at me, then we'll stop.
We'll go for a few minutes. I'm holding myself up.
All right, okay.
I'm holding myself up. I really don't look it, but I am very kind of ill tonight.
Okay, so how could there be another person in the city of Nashua who would know more about what you just said than myself and Fred Rice? How? If we studied all of New Hampshire,
well, I don't know the depth of your
and we take
labors,
a look at this, and what you're saying is they're not giving us reports.
They're not.
They're not treating this as a business. No. And all over the state, this is what's happening. So I go to the mayor and I go, and you're not putting an art gallery in there?
Yeah,
$15 million, no art gallery?
It shouldn't be just a craft center. It should be an event center. That's where nobody wants to define it as an event center, but art center isn't completely what it should just be. And the gallery, you got to have a gallery.
Well, I got some.
I mean, that's revenue producing. That gets everybody. Well,
I got news for you. I want the numbers.
I hope you can get them.
No. You don't understand. After what I went through up there, all the work I did and all the junk I went through to find out what the numbers are here in the state of New Hampshire, people don't know what they are. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to have the numbers, and people like you are going to call me, and you're going to say, "Hey, Kenny, guess what? I agree with you. This is what we need."
Even if the numbers aren't super solid, you got to have a pro forma, a reasonable estimate based on some reliable.
How could this happen without that?
I don't know. We just never got any evidence in the aldermanic chamber. They never came to us. 27 people line up and they say, "We want the art center. We want the art center. We want the art center." Well, that's it.
Do you realize?
What else do you have to say?
That's why I saw you up there, and I was going to speak. Okay, for it.
Yes, you were there that night.
And I was going to speak for it, and then I listened to what the mayor had to say, and he wasn't talking to you guys. He was talking to the people behind you.
The,
And I'm saying I'm in committees.
people
and
testify.
you know, in committees, you got to talk to change a vote.
Yeah.
So I said, I can't get up there and try to change your vote because,
Well, you could try to persuade, but
well, I couldn't
well,
because he didn't have the numbers. There was nothing.
no, you're right. I mean, it was a disappointment. So I wanted to give them every benefit of the doubt. I still don't think I could get over $15 million and that large deficit, losing money. You got to make money too, Ken. And if you guys are going to tackle this in the coming new term, they got, what is it about the arts community that they don't think in terms of financial things?
Ah, you're wrong. But
Well,
but you
that's the
see,
way-
no, I'm here. I've done the state, the entire state.
It's almost like they don't understand
You know,
financial.
no. They don't understand. I do, and Fred Rice and I, because we did the entire state.
Yes, I know. And
And we
that's
find that this is
commendable
what's
too.
happening. It has to at least not lose as much, but you need somebody up there who's going to run it. And if they don't have it, listen, we've got to go. Sean,
Ken?
next year, this time, you'll be talking about another 6 months that you'll be around.
I sure hope so.
But I did want people to meet you.
Yeah, and I'm fine talking about that, everyone. You know, I think that's great. I don't know if we're still on, but
Okay, so how can people get in touch with you?
well, I am. I'm still an alderman, so you can get my home landline phone right off the city website, 30 Shelburne Road. I could give you the cell, but yeah, I could give you the cell.
Do whatever you want.
490-0986. If you need a quick plow job, I'm really not looking to make any money. I'm looking to have fun with my truck and my new plow. So I like helping people out. Sean, can you bail me out? Yes, I can.
Margaritas.
And,
Listen,
well, then I'll go for the margarita afterwards.
I wanted to bring Sean on because you could talk about what you talked about, your illness, but we did have a lot of fun talking about and
Yeah.
when we were in. All right, if anybody is going to make it, it's going to be you.
That's what my doctor says.
And I wanted you to come in here, and
Thank
I
you.
just wanted people to know
Thank you,
that
Ken.
I really love you.
Yeah, I love you
and
too.
Just the best, okay?
Great.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is The Art of Politics. I hope you like the show. And listen, good luck, Sean.
Have me back sometime.
I will next week. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
See you later. Bye now.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.